Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of Nation Wave, and this is day 6 of the December daily draw. So as we start a new week, let's see what kind of message we're going to get. I'll be taking the first card from the Star Tarot, followed by an Oracle card from the Seasons of the Witch Yule Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Here we go. And we have the Knight of Swords. So this is taking our plans and putting them into action. It's all about action, activity. It's all about active thinking. So it's thinking and then doing. It's following through on our ideas. It's one thing to sit and think and reflect upon what we want to do, but there comes a time when we have to actually do the thing that we're thinking about, right? So there's a time for planning, then a time for doing, for executing those plans, because that's the only way we're going to manifest them into reality, is by taking action. So it begins with our thought processes, it begins with our ideas, and then we act on those ideas. And so this is all about activity. So maybe we've been having some ideas about things, some plans, some thoughts about situations, about ourselves, changes that we need to make, things we need to do, and we've got this like plan or this set of ideas in our minds. Now, as we start this week, is the time to put those plans in and ideas into action. Time to act upon them. It's time to follow through, right? So instead of just sitting and reflecting, we now have to use those ideas, use our thoughts that we've had, and allow that to influence us, motivate us into action in line with them. And also because swords is also about, to me, communication as well as ideas, communicating ideas. We may need to speak about them. We may have had some things that we want to talk about with people, with certain individuals, or speak into a situation, or maybe even speak to ourselves about something. But it's with a purpose to achieve something, right? We may need to have a conversation with someone that we've been thinking about having a conversation with. Now's the time to put that thought into action, right? And that communication, this card brings that energy of active communication. So this could be the time to do it. Because knights, particularly to me, the knights, particularly the swords and wands knights, they can sometimes rush ahead a little bit. So we have to be careful we don't get ahead of ourselves. We need to think carefully what we're going to say or what we're going to do, so that we don't, miscommunicate or act impetuously and then regret it. Rush too far ahead and then realize that we should have done something before that. So we have to be careful of that. That's what that's one of the sometimes the knights can do, in my opinion, that we need to be aware of, that we try not to do. But apart from that, there's still that really strong active energy of doing, whether it's speaking, creating, acting in some way, working on a project, whatever it is. We're putting in ideas that we've had and we're acting on them. Now's the time to act as we start this week. And that's what this card has come to say to us today. It's time to put your plans into action, to act upon those plans and see where it takes them. Because sometimes we're probably, we can hesitate on doing something. We have an idea and we think, yeah, but is it really good enough? Is this the right idea? And sometimes we'll, when we sit there and we hesitate and we procrastinate and we don't do anything about it, and always questioning whether it's a good idea or not. Well, sometimes the only way to find out is to actually start doing it. Right? Let's have a go with this idea and see how far we can take it. It may be that it's not going to work very well and it falls flat. Well, then you know, okay. So you then come up with something else. Don't get too dejected if that happens. You're doing something. You're trying it. It may not work. If it doesn't work out, fine. At least you know, and you've worked through that idea, and you need to come up with another one. That's fine. That's all part of the creative process. But you may, hopefully, probably in the majority of cases, follow through on your idea, and you'll be amazed about where that idea will take you once you start putting it into action. And new ideas may then follow. It's funny because as we're acting on certain ideas, as we're going through the process of putting them into action, new ideas then come in because we've made room for them by acting on the ones we already had. It's like it creates a cycle of new thoughts coming in. So it's time to act. That's what this card is saying. So let's see what oracle card we get with that. Okay. And this is snow. Well, we get bits of snow. It was snowing here a bit earlier, but it's gone now. It's just a bit of a nice turn to rain and sleet. So this is about, getting clarity. To me, it's about purity. White as the driven snow. But I'm not going to say in terms of morality. I'm going to say that the purity of ideas, the clarity of our thoughts, sharpens as we begin to put them into action. They become clearer as to what the nature of our ideas are. As we, they become sharper as we start to put them into action. So, and we need. It's also about this card also represents patience, a soft gentleness. So let's temper this. To me, that tempers the ability to rush ahead really, really strongly. Put a little bit of restraint, a little bit of softness and gentleness on that. And even though we're putting it into action, we can be gentle and start gently. The gentle softness of the snow, the clarity of the thought, the white clarity, and just steadily begin to put the plans into action. Okay, so that is today's message. I'll be back tomorrow for day 7. Until then, thank you very much for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.